Hey guys, welcome back to Comfy Cozy Up. So if you saw my shorts, then you know that I had the cold. Remember I did the last video when I said, oh, I feel like something coming on. I was right. So I'm back to normal. I just had to sleep with it. It was more of a cough. I had a cold, so it was a lot of coughing going on, and it was just so annoying. So I did a lot of resting. So I didn't do as much this week. I actually didn't sew anything. I cut out 2 patterns, which I'm hoping to work on this week. And I have a jacket I want to start as well. Because I'm still not 100% sure what I want to wear for Easter, and it's getting there, what we have. So I'm recording this on the 10th. You guys know the clock went back. I'm so happy. So longer days. So I have 1, 2, wow. So I have about 3 weeks. It's about 3 weeks. So I definitely can crank these out if I just put myself on a good schedule and get it done. Then also I figured this weekend, let me get more work done on my new junk journal, and I am there. I would say I'm about 70%, 65, 70%, and so this is what we got so far, guys. So if you can see, the cover is very, it's a bit of bohemian, springish, but maybe more bohemian because it is a dark plum color, but the flowers, of course, it's giving you that. So as you can see, this is how far I got. Of course, I have some edge protector also on the back, but I'm gonna do something else with the back. I already sewed in the signatures and added some, you know, bling to the side of it, and that's, you know, the more of the bohemian look. So I'm not going to show you inside yet because I got some work to do with the inside, but that's, I feel like this is more of an easier part. It's just more of me deciding what I want to do, and what creative stuff I want to put inside. So but again, I have time because I'm not going to use this until the 1st. So this week is not an announcement yet, but of course next week is when I will announce the spring adrenaline challenge. So yeah, so the goal today is put a pause now on this because I think I did a lot this morning, and to do some reading. No, actually I'm gonna actually start my dress that I'm making, at least start it, and then get back to some reading, and maybe I cook something. So let's talk about some books that I recently picked up, because I told you there's 3 books that I really wanted to pick up this month. So 2 of them already is in here. Of course the other one is not out yet, but I got Tracy. This is Brooklyn by Tracy. You guys know Tracy Brown died last year, so this is one of those. This is one of her, this is I believe this is her last book. You never know with some authors, they might have books around that they never published, and they may want to publish them later, but this is the last one that she was working on, and I am here for it. It's supposed to be set, I believe, in the 80s. It is New York, of course, but I believe it's set also in the 80s. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I'm getting from this. I love her writing style. I love her books, so I'm really excited for this, and I want to make sure I read this month. Let's go. They also have the book for the subscriber pick, In Remembrance, and this is Alice Wynn. And this one is a World War I story that surrounds 2 young men underage who signed up, and you kind of learn what happened, why they signed up. It's giving me more of a heartbreaking story, but I'm going to read this because this was a subscriber pick for March, and I'm going to slow read this. I think I'm going to start and map it out where I read little by little, because the chapters look short. Yeah, some short chapters. Ooh, yeah, it looks hefty, but now that I'm looking at it, it's not as bad. It is about, we got 300, no, Lord, there's a lot of notes in the back, so that's going to be interesting. 374 pages, so it's not too bad. Alright, let's talk about what I'm currently reading, and that is the book that was sent to me, Nowhere Like Home by Sarah Shepard. Let me tell you, this is the, what the heck am I reading? Yeah, but it's a psychological thriller, suspense, mystery kind of book. It is basically workplace shenanigans gone wrong. We're talking a young woman who is just very much easily influenced. She lost her mother, so she's a little bit gullible and easily influenced, and she was basically taken advantage of at work with two individuals. One that she both she thought did something. Basically, one person wasn't who she thought the person was, and the other person is pretty much who she didn't think the person. The girl's in the ride. So basically, I about to start part 2. So I'm 182 pages in. I'm starting part 2, and the goal is to finish this book in the next 2 days. And because it's fast paced, and because we're now in the nitty gritty, because the beginning I feel like it's a lot of suspense, it's a lot of like learning the character, trying to figure out what the hell is going on, and then where it ended in part 2 is that discovery of aha, that person. So I know the rest of this is gonna be like, because she's in the wilderness, and this is another thing. How do you just decide to pick yourself up and go to the wilderness? Yeah, go to the wilderness. To meet somebody that you thought you did something wrong to the person, but you pick a child up, you get there, you realize that these people are living off the grid. No communication to the outside world, and you have all these rules and everything, and you don't think the first day is the time to go home. Yeah, this is why this character is irritating me, but we're gonna keep reading because for some reason it's one of them train wreck that's intriguing me, sadly. Alright, so let's talk about the book that I did finish, Kennedy Ryan, This Could Be Us. And this is a book that I was excited for because I read the first book and before I let go, and I surprisingly was delaying reading that book because you remember I said I am not a big fan of romance that are super popular, and for some reason I get disappointed. So this book, I initially was like, okay, you know what, that book was good, even though it was super hyped up, but I still enjoyed it. But I'm gonna get into this. So I was excited. I actually pre-ordered this book. That's how much I wanted to read it. Now I'm gonna start off because I have my notes somewhere, but it's still fresh in my head. Soledad is a mother of 3, and in this story she discovered that her husband is one, a liar, a thief, and a cheater. And in this story you are learning how she's coping with the discovery, the decisions she has to make, and being a housewife, how she has to pick herself up to provide for her children, knowing that these circumstances that her husband is in is leaving her out in the dry to do what she has to do. Then you have Judah, and he is a accountant, but he's also very good at accounting, very good at numbers, and he's the one that discovered that the husband of Soledad is a thief. The problem with this story is he has fallen for the wife. So then you see how that is a bit messy. Now, what I liked about this is that the author, because of her own experience with having an autistic child, she was careful how she did the story. You can tell it was purposely done, down to how the smut was done, which was very little of in this book because of that. She focused more on the healing process of a mother. She included the book All About Love by Bell Hook, which you know I'm currently reading, but I'm slow reading it. And she included the various things in the book for the woman's healing process. it also had this more idea of her working on herself and not jumping into anything that is basically all about her hormones. So I think she purposely did a lot of things, Candy Ryan, in this because of that. Also, because of the artistic part, you get to really learn about his two sons, they're twins, and their different levels of autism, and how he copes, how he co-parent. He is a divorced man, and how he co-parent with his ex-wife, with his sons, and the little things that he himself is learning that they had missed as when he was a child about his own level on that spectrum as well. I thought this was one of those authors who, it was a personal book. It was a personal story to tell, in terms of it's not necessarily her life, but there's elements of the story that she wanted to protect because of her own experience. And so this is a slow burn. It was quite a few, I mean a whole lot of chapters before you got any smut. And even with the smut, it became more of a love story and not so much of the romance. I think this was more of a love story, and the passion and how the smut was even discussed. It happened in the book. It still had a protection of it to make it beautiful and not so much raunchy and that kind of deal. So I think for a lot of people who are romance but do not like a lot of smut, or just not in, this is the perfect book for you, because you felt the tension, you felt the love, you felt the sneaking around that they had to do because of their children. But it was tasteful, very tasteful, and understanding, and very responsible in terms of, let's talk about those people who are struggling with love and how they are going through the process of healing in a healthy way. And I think that's why I appreciate this book, because it was one of those that you don't get to see a lot of in romance that's labeled as romance. So for me, this was a love story. I feel better just labeling it as a love story. So if you are having reservation, I definitely say pick it up. Get to know the characters and how she writes it, and even her reason for certain things, and pay attention to things that she's doing and purposely doing in the storyline. Communication is a big key in this, and I love books that are doing that, where communication is so important, because so many relationships starts on a bad note because there was never communication from the get-go. So how do you build communication if you never even did it in the beginning? And I like this because there's so much emphasis on communication, of talking about what one wants and need, and listening to what each other say, what they want and need. And I love this for the author. She definitely getting some sales out of this. And again, there's nothing wrong with the author toning down the smut. Nothing wrong with it. It is done well, and it's a nice slow burn, and I was a fan for this book. So go ahead, Candy Ryan. You did a good one. You did a good one. So I am going to get back to this shenanigan and start some other books, and I'm gonna vlog this week. I'm gonna attempt to vlog this week. Another thing I realized, that the weather is changing. I think I was getting to the end of the winter blues, because I find that I want to sleep. I want to sleep. And I don't know. I'm like, is it the winter blues or just me just want to go to sleep? Because I have so much motivation in the mornings, but I don't wake up enough time to actually do stuff before I have to go to work. And then when I get home, I just like dragging and like trying my best to do as much before I fall asleep. And there are times I'm sitting at the computer and I literally have fallen asleep sitting at the computer. So I'm working on, you know, like trying to get up. Now that the clock has changed, I'm hoping I can get up early and do some walking in the mornings. I need to get back to some walk-ins, and I think that's gonna probably get my mood and my energy a level up, and hopefully. So we're gonna see how this works. Especially this week, it's supposed to be a lot of, I think today and tomorrow is the only cold day, and it's gonna be in the 60s, so it's like a perfect weather. to go for a stroll, you know, a little walk. And I live in the mountains, so a walk for me is a workout because there's a lot of hills. So we're gonna work on that, and hopefully, y'all just send some energy my way. So anyway, guys, I am going to again pack up my junk journals, crafting stuff, my sewing machine that I use for my crafting, and get some sewing done. And yeah, follow me on my Instagram because you most likely see what I'm up to as far as my crafting stuff. Well, Instagram for, you know, sewing stuff I do post like in my stories, and then on TikTok I am doing a lot more of my journal. I also been doing a lot of my sewing journal where I do spreads on things I've made. That's pretty much on my TikTok. So yeah, so thanks guys, and I will see you in the next one. Yay! And next weekend should be fun too. It's gonna get there. My energy level is gonna get there. So I will see you guys in the next one. And if you've read This Could Be Us, let me know how you felt about it, and I will, you know, see you in the next one. All right guys, bye.